Keep it real about how I feel. I know this love ain't real, but I want you still. Working out and never will. Let's just keep it real.
Yo, what's going on, man? This is Will Williams. Welcome to another episode of Keep It Real, the podcast with me, Will Williams. Hope y'all been enjoying the episodes lately. It's a different format that I've been trying and everything, trying to talk about something rather than rambling on. Because, you know what I'm saying, it may sound like it's easy to just, start talking about podcasts, just running your mouth about nothing. But anyway, so this episode, as usual, we got the notes, we're going to read from them. So this is the sound of the future being a quote unquote light. Why authenticity, I think that's the word. Why authenticity beats high production. So basically the sound of the future being a light, like we are all here for a short time. You know what I'm saying? How many years we on this earth? Like, I feel like God knows how long we're on this earth, but sometimes we speed that up. You know what I'm saying? Whether you on, drugs, or you're not taking care of your body, or, anything, we can speed that up. So that's kind of besides the point what I just said, but basically when this pertains to music, the sound of the future being the light, music has changed so much even since when I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? It went from rapping about, just being a good rapper, rapping about nothing, just rhyming words, to, rhyming about women, and, you got the dope rhymes and then the R&B singer on the hook and everything, to now it's all about killing and, I'm the best, and you know what I'm saying? And music is powerful. Like I said before in every episode, man, I never really understood how powerful music is until I listened to some of the old stuff. I've been making music since 2009, you know what I'm saying? So some of the old things that I've written, I still got them from when I was in, fifth, sixth grade. And when I'm reading over them, like, first of all, this is garbage. But, you know what I'm saying, when you listen to it and you read over it, it's like, man, it takes you back to a place where it's a certain, like, you ever hear a song on the radio, you're like, oh, man, I remember this song from back in the day. And it brings back a memory, maybe somebody you was dating, maybe something that happened in your life, whatever. And it's like, man, that's crazy. Music is powerful and it can take you certain places. So as Christians, followers of Christ, which is what Disciples Music Group came from. The Disciples are followers of Christ. Disciples Music Group, music is centralized around God. If I'm not doing what I'm supposed to in life, and I'm living this way, but acting this way in front of the people and on the podcast and doing the music and everything, then I'm being a hypocrite, whether the world knows or not. I never want to be that type of person who's going to be like, do this and live this way, but I'm doing something else on the side. You understand what I'm saying? But basically, you got to be a light. So I've been saying this for the longest. My album should have came out years ago. I had the name, like, literally I was done with the whole album. But what happened was I stopped. I think it was something I had seen online. It was this pastor talking about music and everything. And I didn't want to I thought I was just talking about my life. You know what I'm saying? The depression, the relationships that failed, maybe it's family issues, job, kids, whatever the case may be, right? I thought I was just talking about my life. But when I was talking about, suicide, or talking about all this negative stuff that happened to me, though at the end I would say how I got through it, leading people to God. What if people don't hear that? You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to lead people down that path. So literally I had the album written, production was done, artwork was done. All I had to do really was record it, mix it, master it, you know what I'm saying? Listen to it, tweak it here and there, pick the singles, drop the videos, and, make a release date, and it was going to be out there. But it seemed like every time I tried to do something, it wouldn't come out right. And I think I said this last episode. Um, it just wouldn't come out right. So, you know what I'm saying? I talked to guys like, God, if this ain't what you want me to do, let me know. You know, so he was like, just start over fresh. I wanted, but this is besides the point about the album point. So, the next point, so if y'all ain't following along, the first point was the sound of the future being a light. And the second was why authenticity beats high production. Like, it's very few artists that are authentic to themselves. And what I mean authentic is you may sound like another rapper or another singer or whatever, or not even just music, just be yourself. You know what I'm saying? This comes like with all these filters online. If you're overweight and you're 5 feet, then be that overweight and 5 feet. Don't try to change yourself with filters and everything. True story. There was this girl, this was when I was younger, just back when, like, I never really believed in the whole meeting people online type stuff. Like, I didn't get that, not talking about anybody who've done that, but you know what I'm saying? So there was this girl, and all I saw was like from maybe like not even probably I could probably have the chest up or something, I don't know, something like that. So I'm seeing her, okay, she look cute, whatever. She's like, hey, you want to meet up, blah blah blah. I get off of work this time. I'm like, okay, I know what I said. So I go, meet her where she at, whatever. And I think at the time I was like 5'9", 5'10", 5'10". I see her. She walks. I think she was sitting down. She stands up. She taller than me. Not that I got a problem with tall women or anything, but you see what I'm saying? Don't act like you're one way, and then when somebody meets you, you're not authentic. How does that go into music? So there's a lot of artists, like, and this is just to name a few. I'm probably leaving some out. Forgive me if I am. J. Cole been rapping the same way since he first came out. Nas been rapping the same way since he first came out. He's not hopping on all these trends. When T-Pain came out with the whole auto-tune thing, all these rappers started hopping on it. Now you see all these rappers trying to sing and rap, and I don't know what you call it, but it sounds terrible. You know what I'm saying? I understand it's a style, it's a little thing that's going on, but it sounds terrible. When they starting to, singing while they rapping and everything, it sounds horrible. And you hear them live, it's like, yeah, dog, this is garbage. So, like, a lot of people ride different waves and trends. I think J. Cole said on, what was that album, KOD, I think it was the last song on that album, I forget the name of it, but I'm paraphrasing this too. He was like, now you falling off because you was riding trends and riding wave, that wave is disappearing. So when you come out, like right now, the music that's come out, the drill scene and killing the ops and this and that, and oh, you capping, and I don't understand the lingo, and the slang is garbage now. You know what I'm saying? Not to say it when we was growing up, but you know what I'm saying. So when you hear stuff like that, and then it's like, if that ain't you, stop trying to be that. You know what I'm saying? Because when you try to push that, then there are people out there that's willing to lose their life to see if you real or not. You know what I'm saying? I can remember this guy I went to school with. He was repping the gang hard, had the flag on him and this and that. Was telling people, oh, my mama knowing all this other stuff. Got in a fight with a dude. Lost. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden they cool. Now all of a sudden he ain't repping the gang no more. Like, if it ain't you, stop trying to be somebody you not. So going back to the artists that I named, when you are authentic, you'll go further. Because me, I've never tried to sing, like, do the singing, rapping thing. Auto-tune, if y'all didn't know, is expensive plug-in. I think, don't quote me on this, I think it's like $200-$300, and that's the cheapest version. But, it's expensive, you know what I'm saying? These music is not cheap, video production, none of that's cheap. Y'all should know that. But if you don't, But, all that's cheap, you know what I'm saying? So, all that's not cheap. So, why you always trying to ride waves and do this, and maybe this is hot then, and maybe that's hot then. Once you start to fall off, now you gotta switch. Oh yeah, there's another person. No, none of y'all dislike Drake, but Drake been the same since he first came out, singing about women, making songs to women, and I think he just came out with some what was that, Iceman, whatever. Saying I didn't listen to it or anything, but when he come out with it, it was like, this been the same Drake for years. People may not like him and say, oh, he's not authentic, but he's selling, everything. So you just got to be yourself, and when you're authentic, you will. People say, like, I always be like, man, I wish I could meet the people that like my music. Like fans and everything. I wish I could meet people who've been there when I first dropped. Man, well, I never dropped Confused the mixtape, that wasn't out, but when I first dropped, I think Let Me Explain was the first project I dropped. Yeah. No, I Got You was the first EP I dropped. If you got it, if you heard it, shout out to you. So when I first came out with that, I want to listen. I want to talk to people who've been there and see the growth. The production got better, the lyrics got better, the flow got better, the singing got better, the mixing, mastering, everything got better. But I'm still talking about the same stuff. Still talking about my life, still mentioning guys, still saying, yo, this is what I've been going through, this and that. So basically what I want to say on all this episode, be real, be authentic, be yourself. Because when you start to try to fit into different categories and do things for these people or your family or your spouse or your kids, then you will never make it. You're always going to make somebody upset. You can't please everybody. They're going to love you today, and then next week, they ain't going to love you. You see it all the time, man. Like Kanye West, people used to love Kanye. Kanye was dope. And then whatever happened. Praying for Kanye West, you feel me? We can condemn him, some stuff he doing, whether it's real or just an antic to sell tickets, whatever the case is. People used to love Kanye West, everybody. Now everybody distances themselves. Crazy, ain't it? But then let them flip around and completely change. Now people want to ride that wave again. It's crazy though. But be yourself, man. Be authentic. Know that there's always a generation behind you, and there are people looking up to you, whether you know it or not. Not just your kids, not just your nieces or nephews or cousins, or it could be your neighbor next door. It could be somebody older than you looking up to you. Be that example. Maybe you got out of a situation. Maybe they're like, man, how does he have all of that? And the economy's like this, or how he can afford this, and he works here or he doesn't work here. God said he'll supply all your needs according to his good, according to his will. See, forgive me for that. I know I butchered that. But, God is the answer to everything at the end of the day. So I thank y'all for tuning in. This is Will Williams. He's just keeping it real. So this week's commercial, I guess you can call it, is like the shout out to Spirit Church, which is located in St. Anne, Missouri, Northwest Plaza Drive. Pastor Aeneas and Tracy Williams, Aeneas Williams, played for the Arizona Cardinals, came here, St. Louis Rams and everything, Hall of Fame cornerback, So, yeah, if you're in the St. Louis area, if you're not in the St. Louis area, they be online and everything. I'm going to put that information on the screen right now and in the description and everything. Check it out, man. And, not just that church, any church, your local church home, man. Read Revelations. You see a lot of stuff in Revelations is coming to pass. Now we're living in the last days. Jesus can come back any day, So make sure you right. You feel me? I'm going to make sure I'm right, but make sure you right. Ain't nobody perfect, but we got to keep working, because one day he going to come back and it's all going to be worth it. It's bars right there. But, this is Will Williams. We just keeping it real.
Can I keep it real about how I feel? I know this love ain't real, but I want you still.